Unsyndicated presents Off the Air with Sean Baligian.
Hi, how are you? Blake's Crabby. I'm Sean Baligian. Pleasure to be with you on a Tuesday night. I feel for you, okay? I want you to know I'm doing this for the bit, all right? Because I really do feel for you. I will explain to you in great detail how much I feel for you, pal, all right? And I do. But just for a fact, Blake, my friend from 760 WJR Mitch Album Show and Sports Rap. Just for a fact, Blake already got mad at me because I put my little headline up there. Look at my headline.
My AC runs well.
That's
Congrats.
kind of dick, okay? Can I say dick? I just did. That's kind of dick. I admit it. Whatever, okay? I feel for you. I do. I'm sorry. It stinks. And when my wife was about 8.5 months pregnant with, a bowling ball, like our air conditioning broke down and it was just absolute misery, right? I mean, absolute misery. So I feel for you. Is there anything that I can do or somebody out there can do to help you out?
Yeah, we would love a heating and cooling sponsor. That might might cut Blake a deal on nice when not even, just a whole home cooling system. That'd be great. So I don't have to put these damn window units in, which I'm going to do tonight. I'm putting at least one in because I cannot go through what I went through last night. My house stayed at 75 degrees. I had to go up in the attic to get fans down in the middle of the night. My wife is sleeping, just enjoying her wonderful slumber. And I'm up in the attic just ruffling through trying to find fans to try and cool this damn house off. It was miserable. It was so humid because we got hit with that rainstorm. I don't know if you got it as bad as we did.
No, it missed us.
It was so humid here. I was miserable. And I had to go up there into the hot attic, get down some fans to put in the windows to try and cool things off a little bit. Didn't help. And then the best part is my bedroom window, and I sleep right next to the window, faces the sun in the morning. So I have a fan pulling air in. Well, first thing in the morning, 6 a.m., guess who's got hot air just blowing up right on their back? Just swampy, nasty. I was up every 2 hours. I got no sleep last night because I was just dying of sweat and disgustingness. It was a brutal night. And now I get to come on here and I was all excited. I get to talk to my friend Sean. And what does he have at his headline? My AC runs well. Well, at least you have fucking AC, Sean. I don't even have it. Okay?
Swearing.
I don't have a jar. You have a jar. I don't have a jar.
All right. So listen, okay. Here's the deal. All right. And yes, as Kristen said, it was August and it was a very hot August. All right. So I tried the other day. What was the one day that like they said it was supposed to be 85, but it was actually 89? Was that Sunday?
Yes.
So I was like, for once, I'm like, I'm not turning it on. No, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm going to leave all the windows open. I'm going to put screens in. I'm going to turn the fans on. Everything's going to be okay. That's why we got a ceiling fan. Oh, as the coach said, wow, Blake's an angry elf today.
I'm passionate.
Angry elves need hugs. And so, like, honestly, Coach Hunter, the next time you see Blake, try to give him a hug. Blake, it was miserable. It didn't work. It just didn't. And the worst part is, don't worry, the sun's going to go down and the temperature is going to drop and everything like that. I think it dropped to 77 in the sleeping quarters. So the air immediately went on. Immediately went on. Just no ifs, ands, or buts. The air went on. So listen, this is a community, and if there's anybody out there that can help our buddy Blake out, now Todd, being the kind and wonderful man that he is, said that he would give you one of those window units or whatever.
Yep.
Todd, this is a factual statement. Todd said, I think AC units can detect pregnancies. My wife and sister-in-law were both pregnant in California in June, and the AC was not working, even though it was brand new. That's a factual statement. That's, I think somebody could do like a study, and 98% of ACs break down when women are pregnant.
So I also, if anyone out there has those, because I've been doing my research because I'm sick of dealing with this, those like solo units that go up on the wall. The only thing I'm worried about is like, I just don't know how well that's going to circulate. And like, can I just be frank, Sean?
No.
Okay, well, then I won't be.
No, be frank.
Is there anything worse than a hot bathroom when you're trying to take care of your business?
It's pretty. I'm not going to argue with that. No,
I don't want to get too graphic with it, but it's rough.
I'm not going to argue with that. I'm just not.
It's a rough day in the office when you're sitting down on the porcelain throne and your butt cheeks are sliding all around because you got some sweat going on down there. Because there's never good ventilation. Like you can turn the fan on, everything. That's not helping. It's brutal.
Listen, I would love to do, I'm Sean Baligian for air conditioning. I would love to do like some kind of read like that. So maybe somebody can help you out. I use, for what it's worth, I use Family for years, and Family does a great job. Like if you want to call them, like.
So the issue, I've gotten quotes to get central air put in. Mm-hmm. My issue is my furnace is in the attic. So because of that, they have to run everything up to the attic. All the quotes I got were like 10 grand plus. Oh. And it's just, that's not feasible for young Blake at this point in his life.
Not right now.
So we roll with some window units. We deal with what we got. We tough it out. We bust through. I'm playing hurt right now, not injured. The house is 80 degrees. I'm miserable, but I'm happy to see you, my friend, that has running proper AC.
This is a bit. Now, I hope you know that. You're going to hold it against me, and you're going to be mean at me the rest of the show, and I've accepted that. But I also want you to know this is a bit. This is a good talking point, and it's something that we can all relate to. Because trust me, in my house, anybody that knows me, and you were probably over here, I would venture to say when you were over last year for the Lions-Chiefs game, I would venture to say all the windows and doors and sliding doors and everything were shut, and I had the air on. I am notorious for leaving the air on, like, even when it's 70 degrees. I am. Yeah. I openly admit it. Guilty as charged. And so I was like, you know what? No, let's just open up the windows. It's only going to be 85 degrees. It was miserable. Absolutely. Well, I'm not doing that shit again. Crap again.
The best thing about the AC is it helps with the humidity. It takes some of the humidity out. That's the part that I like. I can deal with a little heat. But when it's like 100% humidity because it just rained and it's hot, I'm out. I can't do it, man. I'm out.
No.
Struggle butts.
Let's see. Blake with Coach Hunter, I didn't know that. Blake, I'm with you. Mine's out, getting fixed tomorrow. Unsyndicated said like, subscribe, and share to get Blake that central air. Kirsten said family heating and cooling is awesome. Honest company, absolutely. I've had no problems whatsoever with them. Jason said Upper State Park outhouse in July is considered a war crime by the Geneva Convention.
It's brutal, man. There's nothing worse.
Mark said this is like crying like I did in college. My arms hurt real bad. Both.
I don't think I deserve this. I've been just getting ridiculed by the internet in the last 48 hours.
Kyle said, so what is the return on an overpaid small winger that's unaffected in the playoffs? I cannot believe what Vancouver didn't bring last night. It was like they sleptwalked. You were at home. I said at the beginning of the series, I think all like 24 people on the ESPN like experts page picked Edmonton. And when we had the group of guys over, they all picked Edmonton. Vancouver should have won that series. And I get it. They were having goaltending issues. We can play the if Demko was there, it would have been a different series. You know what? Right there. That was their problem. I couldn't believe. Did you watch any of that last night? I couldn't believe they sleptwalked through most of the game. I'm serious. It was weird. Our little text groups, I have a few text groups as we're watching the games. I don't know if you guys saw the same thing. This is 7th game, man. You're at home. Like, bring something. It wasn't until the last few minutes when, it was like, oh, here we go. It's the Cardiac Kids. Here they come again. It was embarrassing to watch. It really was.
Do you think that's just a young, inexperienced core? Are they that young, though?
No,
is Vancouver that young?
I think it's easy to put the blame there. I think that's a cavernous hole on the left side of your chest, quite frankly. I really do. They should have never been in that position. Period. End of story. As Kyle said, EP40 earning his money. Dave connects didn't apply pressure until 4 minutes left in the third. It was unreal. And then the last few minutes of the game, I was also texting with my buddy Mike, who we do the baseball shows with, is a big Oiler fan. And he's going, dude, we're going to blow this. We're going to blow this. And I couldn't tell him he was wrong, because Vancouver was all over them. But it was, to David's point, it was so weird that they seemed to wake up once they got down 3-0. And then the last 5 minutes of the game, all of a sudden it was like, where has this been the previous 55 minutes? It was kind of gross. Botch, if you're watching right now, I need to say something, so you might want to turn this off and not listen. Edmonton's going to get smoked by Dallas. They are going to get smoked by Dallas. Mark my words. Remember I said that. They're going to get smoked by Dallas. So we get to go another year of saying a Canadian team hasn't won the Stanley Cup. We just have to get used to that.
McDavid can't win the big one. Can we say that?
I don't think it's fair to pin it on him.
As a dumb sports fan, that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, that's what a lot of people are going to say. This isn't like Austin Matthews. Look, Austin Matthews deserves every bit of crap that is being heaped his way with some of his playoff performances. He does. And I'm sorry, I've said it 3 years in a row. I think really starting with that series that they blew against the Habs in 21. Nylander's the guy that shows up. Honestly, it's Willie. He's the guy that shows up. And Tavares has disappeared. Marner is really going to disappear. If they don't jettison him out of there, I'm going to be drop dead shocked. And listen, Poppy hasn't been there. That's just the way it is.
Poppy.
There are so many Poppies. We're going to have to make it like a Poppy list. This is a Poppy, but this is another Poppy, and that's a Poppy. There are lots, and then there's the Poppy family. That's another one. Kyle said Draisaitl is definitely better in the playoffs than McDavid, though. That's a guy that elevates his game. I wouldn't go as far as to do like the Nylander. Oh boy, a black cat walking behind Blake. That means your air is not on for weeks, dude.
No, he's yelling at me
now.
He's yelling at me. I had to keep the door open. I don't have a screen in this window.
Well, guess what? Satan just walked in and said, "No, Blake, I'm going to let you know what hell feels like."
Listen, we don't speak ill will about my friend Pablo here.
You don't need that.
Me and Pablo are boys. He hangs out with me while I'm watching college football.
Yeah, you know the temperature in hell. It's going to be in your house real soon.
I don't besmirch your dogs. All right, the one that chastises me every time I walk in the door.
That walk by while you're waiting for your air, man. That's a sign of bad luck, dude. I'm shooting
That's my
straight.
guy, all right? I don't need you besmirching my friend Pablo the cat. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I don't come over there and talk about your dog basically just barking at me like all hell is broken loose. Okay?
Look at him. He's an angel. He is an angel.
Do I
Straight from
say any
heaven.
of no. See,
Hello,
you're
God.
spinning this. I do not do that. I could, but I do not. So I don't need you coming in here and telling me about Pablo. All right? I don't need it.
I don't know if that's Pablo as much as I honestly, I worry about you. I think that's Satan's way of saying, oh, you think it's hot in here now. Oh, good,
He's
Blake.
just staring at me. He's like, it's too, he knows it's too hot.
Let's see. Zach Tardich. Nice to see you in here. Agree, Sean. Nurse and Holloway will be X factors for Oilers headed into WCF. Boy, does Nurse decide when he wants to go. There's another guy. Jeez, oh Pete. He decided. Look at and not to be undone. Look who else just showed up. I want my camera time too. Rat. Beat it. They're gonna get smoked though. Like, honestly, they're going to get smoked in that series.
But is it wrong for me to want McDavid to win? Like, I want him to win.
No,
I want him to win a cup badly.
Oh, he's great for the game. There is, I'm going to say it again, okay? I don't know. And I know Ken Holland a little bit, right? I don't know why certain teams, and I'm going to use Carolina and Edmonton as an example, they have darn good teams with darn good pieces. I don't know who in the organization, other than their general manager, and I know both those general managers, okay? I don't know who in that general manager, or who in that organization, other than the general manager, that thinks it's a good idea to head into the playoffs with the goaltenders that they've been heading into the playoffs with. It's the same damn problem for years with both those teams. It just is. Carolina's had Ned, Mrazek, Freddie. These are guys that they're not going to win. They're not going to be the X factor, the difference in a series. And that's why Carolina has faltered. And the same thing can be said for Edmonton. Stop it with Sean Skinner. Like, stop it. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. Like, stop it.
Who is the last team that won a Stanley Cup without one of those, like, top 5, top 10 goalies in the league?
See, I was tempted to say St. Louis, but Binnington was playing so well at the time.
He was playing out of his mind at that time.
You know, he kind of had the same accident that, like, Carey Price did. He fell and bumped his head, and all of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh, I forgot that at one point in time I was a great goalie. Maybe Colorado. You could say Colorado a couple of years ago. I mean, it wasn't breathtaking. You know what I mean? You can win with good goaltending. Like, I'm a firm believer in that. You know, so many people say, well, you need that guy. I don't think that's necessarily true, but you need something better than what Carolina and Edmonton have rolled with.
But it also makes it a lot easier if you do have great goaltending.
Oh, absolutely.
It's kind of like a cheat code.
No doubt about it. Jason said Vancouver needed to listen. LMFAO, Little John, shots. I can't, Jason. I got nothing. I don't know why they didn't. Darren said Sean Pablo is a cool ass cat. I want to make something clear. I'm not anti-Pablo, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm anti-black cat walking past Blake as he's crying about his air conditioning. That's a bad. That's like a. Don't you have any?
It was after that. It was after that conversation was over.
That's a bad.
I think it was for the black cat was for Edmonton. Which you agree with.
Might be. Yeah. Okay. Tim said your dog looks as mean as the streets in Livonia. Yes. Oh, Rocket is just furious. He is. Will you admit, though, it is kind of a funny bit how he will bark and carry on and go nuts, and 3 seconds later he's laying in your lap like giving love. That's just the way he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a huge dog guy, and I have no issues with your dogs. They bark at me a little bit.
Why do you hate dogs?
Never been I got bit as a child, and it scarred me.
Okay. All right.
Not a dog guy.
No, I understand.
Darren can attest to that. 100%.
Boy, John Watson said, speaking of cats, Tiger's not good. Down 6-0 already. Oy, oy, oy. Oy. All right, so we got it all out. Tomorrow night, by the way, we have two things going on. We're going to do a show tomorrow, like for the MHSAA, talking MHSAA hockey, and some of the guys that have moved on. Tanner Rowe from the Michigan hockey team, a guy that played high school hockey, is going to be a guest. So we're going to do that for our friends at the MHSAA, and then we're going to have a viewing party. Are you coming over? Did you decide if you're coming over yet? Well, you know what? I want you to think about this. Maybe you should come over, huh?
You do have air conditioning.
Well,
I don't know. Well,
see under my name. What does it say under my name?
Yeah,
I should make business cards.
Yeah, got it.
I'm Sean. My AC runs well.
I don't know, because I'll be staying to run your MHSAA show.
Oh,
so that kind of throws a wrench into things.
You can come over later because we're not going on until after the second period.
Yeah, what time do you think that'll be? Me and Todd. Now we're just talking about plans.
Oh,
what time?
Everybody likes to hear about the menu anyway, so I'm going to tell you all about the menu.
Yeah, what time though? What time does that game start?
If the game starts at 8, I don't know, 9:45, maybe 9:45. Yeah, probably before then.
Well, I might be putting in more.
I'm not jinxing anybody. Keep your mouth. No, keep your mouth. I'm not even going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
Oh, I would not wish that upon you, even though you're wishing bad upon me.
Not.
Oh, my AC runs well. You are kind of putting that into the universe. I would never wish that on you in my life.
I'm not wishing it on you.
It's the worst.
I wish the black cat didn't walk by. Kevin said this incarnation of the Tigers rebuild is as abysmal as the Al Avila reign on Terra. Kevin, to your point, it's going to get worse. I'm telling you, we talked about it last week. Guys, there aren't bats waiting in the wings. All the kicking the can down the road that Al Avila did, that a vast majority, whether you want to say it or not, is inconsequential to me. This is one time I can put the number one finger up and say, I told you, and I told you very early on, okay? All those bats that we were told were coming and everything's going to be okay because this prospect's in that market and that prospect, 55. All of that stuff. You can play Guy Lafleur anytime you want. I'm like Todd. You go ahead and play Guy Lafleur. I'll shut up. But no, all jokes aside, listen to me. There's nothing waiting in the wings. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do to go get bats? Clearly, we've shown we have a manager that isn't going to go out there and spend a lot of money, right? So what are you going to have to do? They're going to have to sell an arm or two, and then what? Bad scene. Bad scene. Todd, what was that Guy Lafleur? I'm just intrigued. I'm intrigued. All right, he said 1 second. 1 second.
Jason, can I just respond to Jason's comment? You have to have air conditioning for it to work. I don't have it. I haven't acquired it. So that's the issue here.
You can come over and be my friend.
I bought a house without central air. That's the issue. I'm dumb. That's also the issue. So.
All right. So if you come over the house, don't we have one of those things too? We could give Blake one of those. Don't we have one of those things, Kristen? One of those air conditioner things that we're not using, right? That you put in the window?
I have. You're eating an air company in this space for. Hell yeah, Todd. I will sell my soul to the devil. Let's go.
Jason said, if you watch Slapshot tonight, your AC will work tomorrow.
I don't have it. Yeah, it'll work.
It's supposed to cool off, though.
When?
All right, so tomorrow, 81, 79, 82, 77, 73, 69, 68.
Sean,
right.
it's the problem is the low. The low is the issue here. Like tonight and tomorrow night, the low is 65. That's still high. I can't cool the house down when the low is 65. I know you don't. I have experienced this. I lived my whole life. My parents' house growing up didn't have central air. And I told myself, I will never do this again. Here we are. No central air.
Let's see. Darren said, what do you guys think about bringing JV back? I read that piece. What was it? Fan-sided that kind of made the rounds and all that stuff. There was I'm gonna pull it up real quickly. Tigers receive Justin Verlander. Houston Astros receive right-handed pitcher Ty Madden. And the piece writes, the Astros would likely, and again, this is from Fansided, the Astros would likely want to top pitching prospect. Obviously, Detroit won't part with their top prospect in Jackson, so that leaves Ty Madden as the next best option. Can I ask you guys a question? And there's been some revisionist history on Dave Dombrowski. I loved Dave Dombrowski. I still love Dave Dombrowski. Dave Dombrowski did what any smart general manager will do, and he took his chances with it. I will give up an unknown coochie coo prospect 10 times out of 10 for a known, and I'll take my chances that I'm right. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to be right 10 times out of 10, because Dave Dombrowski wasn't right 10 times out of 10. But you guys, I want you to take the time. And you've probably heard me say this rant for years, so sorry for those of you that have heard me say this. Go back and look at all the we can't get rid of this guy guys that they got rid of, okay? Casper Wells, Cameron Maben, Jacob Turner, okay? I'll take my chances that you maybe give up one guy and you go, I wish they wouldn't have given him away. When you look at the bevy of losers that they gave away. And think back to some of the trades. Like, I remember the trade deadline in 2011. Like, when they went out and got Doug Fister for what it was Casper Wells and another one of those coochie can't miss prospects. Two guys that barely played in the major leagues for the next year and were out of the game of baseball within a couple years. And we got Doug Fister for it. We can't do that. We can't trade this guy. Are you kidding me? Give me a known every flipping day of the week,
It's
man.
just the difference. Like, that's a win now mentality. You want to win. You'll sacrifice your future to win now. Period. They were in a position to do that. But this team isn't even in a position to win now or later.
There are not a bunch of things coming in the reserve. That's not to say, again, I mean, Jackson's a perfect example. That's not to say that there's nothing there. I'm not suggesting that there's nothing there. But at the end of the day, guys, I mean, take a look at what they have. There isn't a lot. Like, this isn't new. You know what I mean? And I think that's what drives me crazy, Blake. So, I mean, while the idea of bringing Justin Verlander back is pretty cool, his storybook, yeah. I'm tired of storybook crap with this franchise. I am. I'm tired of storybooks. I'm tired of cute little stories and worshiping less than mediocre players like Akil Baddoo. I'm tired of it. Seriously, aren't you? Forget about me. Forget everything that I just said. Everything. Aren't you tired of Rally Goose? Aren't you tired of Akil Baddoo? Aren't you tired of Matt Manning being one of your top prospects for 5 flipping years? Like, you. Not me. You. You should all be sick of it.
I mean, we talked about it in the preseason, but like, as a total, like, baseball casual, like, even past that, like, I can't name guys on the team. Like, Like it's just there's no intrigue there whatsoever. There's nothing that's there to draw me in as a person that lives in Metro Detroit. There's nothing. And the thing is, though, if they did the JV thing, that's all that is. It's just a gimmick to sell some tickets. It's not to win anything.
Todd said, would you deal Miggy at the peak? Jason, I know you were listening. Many of you were listening. I said right before he got the contract, I would have worked out a deal right then and there. So you know the answer for me. I would have. I like what Cornstalker here said. Yeah, I missed Dombrowski. Similar reasons to why I love McPhee, McCrimmon, and Vegas. Sure, they lost Nick Suzuki, but it led to a cup. Unfortunately for David, didn't lead to a World Series championship here, pretty much everywhere else. But to your point, he didn't lose a lot of Nick Suzuki's. He lost a lot of losers. Humberto Sanchez, Casper Wells, Jacob Turner, oh, we can't trade this guy. Boo, all that stuff. And I mean, honestly, what piece did he give away that you were like, man, I wish he didn't do that one? Suarez had some moments, right? But I mean, other than that, really, what did he give away in some of those deals to make the Tigers better? Or in the case of 2011, to be the extra push to get them into the playoffs and to finally win the division again? What did you give away that you were like, man, I wish we had this? It's not a lot of John Smoltz out there. You know what I mean? Going back to the famous Doyle Alexander, John Smoltz deal back in '87. Drives me out of my mind.
I like when you get angry about baseball. I love your passion.
Do you know what I love? Our friends at Legacy.
Do you think our friends at Legacy have air conditioning?
I bet you they could save you some money. So you could go get your air conditioning. How's that? Because did you know that thousands of Metro Detroiters have already called Legacy Partners to get help with their home and auto insurance? Our friends at Legacy are one of Southeast Michigan's top independent insurance agents. They provide a full-service, one-stop solution for all of your insurance needs, personal and business, large and small. What are you waiting for? Get your quote. Save some money. Legacy has helped our listeners by fixing mistakes other agents have made, asking the right questions to get the right coverage put in place to properly protect you, and save you some money so you can go get some air conditioning. Chances are, if you haven't checked your policies in the last year, you're probably paying too much. You might be underinsured as well. What are you waiting for? Give these guys a call. They're coming over. We're having a barbecue. They're going to take a look at our stuff. They can help with your home, your cars, life insurance, Medicare enrollment, your business insurance needs. Give them a call. 586-209-4106 or visit legacypartnersins.com to get started with your new quotes. You will be glad you did. Other than a one or two guys, it's a team of platoon players. Yeah, I mean, seriously, go, you guys. I just named a bunch off the top of my head. We can't ever let this go guy. Jacob Turner's the one to me. I mean, people were wailing about that. Jacob Turner. Do you remember they got Omar Infante, my dear little lighthouse, and Anibal Sanchez? And I think people tend to remember more the Anibal Sanchez of the last couple of years when it started to fall apart. He was unbelievable for the first couple of years. I mean, not only in 12, but 2013. I think he was the main reason why the Tigers were the threat they were in 2013. And that's the one that got away. Drives me out of my mind. Brett said, I like what Tampa does. They take a lot of swings for prospects when they can't re-sign somebody. They win most of the trades. It's not a Tiger strong point. To that point, how about when the Tigers decided to get rid of Meadows? Clearly, Tampa knew something about Meadows that we did not know, right? That's one that got away. That wasn't Dave's deal. Ray said, Detroit seems players that they trade go on and succeed. The players they get back go on to do nothing. Not on Dave's watch. Factual statement, that just amazing how that works out. Boy, they're just adding to your misery. This is Be Mean to Blake Day. Right?
I'm getting bullied on the internet.
Can I tell you this? This is weird for me because usually everybody's mean to me, including you. Blake, have you been able to close your eyes since I shared the Burrow pic with Sean on Facebook? You're welcome. What was that, dude? Like, what?
I don't know.
What are you
I don't
doing,
know.
man? What are you doing?
No, someone edited that. That's a Photoshop.
I know, but what are you doing? That made the rounds everywhere. I mean, it really. Do you know what it looks like? It looks like he's joining me at the GNR Aerosmith concert in the summer of '88.
Do you remember that thing? I think it was last summer or the summer before, where like all the NFL quarterbacks, someone did like Photoshops of them as women.
Now, Ray says that's real. Ray says that's real.
That's not real. That's not his hair.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, that's his real face.
Who would have thought 10, 15 years ago we'd be sitting in a world where in 2024 the Lions seems to make all the right moves and the Tigers can't make a right move.
It is crazy.
You are 100% correct. It is. That's why 3 years ago I said the last thing in the world you want to tell any Detroit fan, specifically Lion fans, is be patient. Okay, we've been patient our whole life, but if you couldn't see the long game that Brad Holmes was playing, you weren't paying attention. And I remember even in 2021, oh, let's get in the Lion limo and all that. I'm like, nah, call me in a couple years. And here we are, where I didn't think the driver was going to be a guy by the name of Jared Goff. I thought that even with taking into consideration that the Lions were in all likelihood going to get a different quarterback. You know, I mean, it's incredible how that works out. Can I tell you about our newest friend? And I can speak to these fine folks because they have done things for me. All About Catering, LLC. It's a full service caterer. They have really taken care of me and my family at some of our parties, graduations, weddings, bridal showers, corporate events, everything that you need catering for from 25 to 4,000 people. All About Catering can and will take care of you as they've taken care of me. Customer service and satisfaction is their number one goal. I gave them 5 stars. You will as well. Don't sweat your next big event. Just go to allaboutcateringllc.com today. Check out their menus, all the 5-star reviews. Give them a call, 586-731-1398. Grab your pen. 586-731-1398 to get your event starting. You can check them out at www.allaboutcateringllc.com. There is something to be said when you're having the big get together and you don't have to worry about cooking for so many people. Now, cooking for you, fruitcakes, I love it. I love it.
You said don't sweat your next event on purpose during that, right?
No.
Was that a shot? I think you did. You ad-libbed a little there. Don't sweat your next event. I'm dying over here.
Do you have a fan on where we can't see it? Like, can you move your camera? Do you have like 80 fans?
I have a
just
ceiling
one of those
fan.
stupid ceiling fans?
No, well, so I don't. The window, I can't move it, or it's gonna just screw everything up. There's a window over there behind me, but I don't have a screen in that window, and this bed frame covers up like half the window, so there's no point. So in the room across the hall, I have a fan bringing in cool air. So it like since I've gotten home, it's gotten a little bit better, but it's brutal.
The most important thing to me right now is that you are alert for foul balls. That right now, that is the most important.
Can I tell you the story behind this?
For foul balls.
Can I tell you the story behind this?
Yes.
So me and my now wife, a few years ago, we went to Wrigley for my first game. Mm-hmm. And that's the actual sign that they have up at Wrigley, like in the hallways. Mm-hmm. So we were sitting first baseline. It was the year after the Cubs won the World Series. We're sitting first baseline, and it was probably like the 4th, 5th inning. Mm-hmm. And I had looked up and I said to her, because a foul ball like went over us. And I was like, I got to stop playing on my phone. I got to pay attention because we're like, this was before they extended the nets. So I was like, I'm going to get hit by a foul ball. Not even kidding. Not even a half inning later, I got smoked by a Listella foul ball off the arm. And I mean, it was like a liner right off of my arm.
No
And it hit
crap.
off my arm and went up like 10 rows. I didn't even get the ball. Absolutely smoked my arm. My whole hand went numb, the whole 9 yards. For whatever reason, it didn't bruise, but it was not fun. So after the game, on the way out, because like I said, in the hallway they have that. So she made me take a picture next to that sign, and I'm like pointing to my arm, and you could like right after it happened, like my whole arm was red, hand went numb, the whole 9 yards. It was brutal. So I saw that online the other day, and I was like, I need some stuff on the wall
That's
behind
great.
me. So
That's
I got
great.
that as an ode to her and an ode to my Cubbies.
By the way, Ray said Tigers, Wings, Pistons covering the teams for you all. Radio newspaper Tums is your friend, and I think Sean had a full head of hair when they were relevant. Now stop it. Hold on.
You still have a full head of hair.
I've gotten old, damn it.
No, you have.
I still got a full head of hair.
You put your headset on? Jesus.
Don't mess with me there. I got the full
No,
head of hair.
I've complimented your hair many times. You have great hair.
That's why I wear a hat all the time.
That is.
I love wearing hats.
Me too.
I love hats. Hats are the best. All right, you want to talk about this NIL stuff? You are all kind of fired up about that.
So the story is this quarterback Jaden Rashada. He had originally committed to Florida. He ended up playing at Arizona State, and I think he's transferred out since. I can't even keep up with all of it. But he is suing the Florida head coach Billy Napier and their like number one NIL guy for $13.85 million, which is insane. And the whole story is basically he's alleging that he had stuff signed and they backed out last minute and tried to lower the deal from what I've read. And the whole situation is just insane. First of all, like Florida spending trying to spend 13 million. Now this kid isn't like a can't miss prospect. He was a 4-star out of high school from the Miami area. He was a good quarterback. He wasn't insane. But they were so desperate for a quarterback that they were willing to spend this money to flip him because he was originally committed to Miami, I believe. It's just an insane story. And it's going to open up so many bad things on both sides.
And he's at Georgia. Like that. Like this is SEC crime. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going to go back to the beginning. Can I go back to the beginning?
Yeah.
I don't think there's a human being out there, not one, that had an issue with athletes finally getting a piece of the pie with NIL, right? We evolved as a society. Even old guys like me, it was time. It was time to get something. If you haven't figured out yet that NIL is literally the poster child of when a good idea goes awfully wrong, you're not paying attention. This is a disaster. It is, right? Can I say that? This is a disaster right now. Across the board for a myriad of reasons. The dip, the double dip, the triple dip, guys basically putting themselves out there for a new, bag, so to speak, every year. This is a disaster. And here's the problem, Blake, like honestly, go ahead and tell me what the fix is.
There isn't one.
There isn't.
The cat's out of the bag.
It's over. You're right.
The issue though is it was two things converging on college football and college athletics at once.
Yep.
Unlimited transfers and then NIL.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made it blow up even crazier because the NCAA realized we can't keep getting away with this.
Yep.
Like we can't limit our student athletes from going to whatever school they want whenever they want. We can't do it. It violates every antitrust law in the U.S.
I can't believe they got away with it as long as they did. What a racket! It really
Seriously.
was a racket, dude. It was.
But then the whole NIL thing, and I'm very, very much like pro NIL. I think that players should have always been able to make money off of.
I
their
think
name.
everybody is. I do. I think that's one thing that's changed over the years.
But I mean, this is just crazy. And the issue though is, so this kid is alleging that they didn't hold up their end of the bargain. Jaden Rashada is saying they didn't hold up their end of the bargain. So he's suing. Okay, whatever. These NIL collectives now are just going to be like, oh, well, there's kids out there that aren't holding up their end of the bargain. You're getting down a very, very slippery slope.
Yep.
And it's going to end up being a bad look for everyone involved. I mean, look at I believe his name is Caden Proctor, the Alabama tackle. He transferred to Iowa. Thank you, Jason. Caden Proctor. He transferred from Alabama to his home state of Iowa for spring football. Got NIL money. He didn't get all of his money that he had signed for, obviously. After spring practice ended, he transferred back to Alabama. That's the world we're living in, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because they were ready to back up a Brinks truck for that kid. But he ended up going back. No, I saw it.
Rashada should include AC for Blake. He's hashtag save Blake.
Thank you.
What a nice human Jason is.
Thank you, Jason.
Look what Ray said. If no restrictions on NIL, what would stop Brady from giving a blank check for the top recruit or transfer portal quarterback to go to Michigan?
Okay, but if there is going to be a salary cap, okay, which I truly don't believe there will be.
No, nor do I. I really don't. I don't.
Because you're going to get 120 kids from each school to sign a collective bargaining agreement every year, and then every 4 years, because it's going to cycle over. This isn't the NFL. Like, it's just not. It's way too many bodies to all get on the same page.
I like what Todd said. It should be a stipend that is split evenly, not a player-specific signing bonus. That's why NIL is out of control. Todd, I agree with you. I had no problem.
They can't do that because of Title IX.
It's already open. It's already, again, you can't wait. We're not going to reshut that, man. Let me tell you about our friends, the Handsome Brothers. All right. I think everybody
they have great air conditioning there.
I think everybody knows them as the Handsome Brothers, the Wealth Advantage Group. But they're the Handsome Brothers, right? And if you're ready to take charge of your financial future, you look no further than the Wealth Advantage Group. They're located in historic downtown Northville, owned by those two guys, the Handsome Brothers. I'll tell you about air conditioning in their house in a second, Blake. True story. They have 20 years of industry experience. They understand that your financial goals are as unique as you are. That's why they offer personalized expert guidance to help you navigate the complexities of financial planning. Now, whether you're saving for retirement, getting ready to sell your company, already in retirement, they can help guide you through every step of your financial journey. They work with clients throughout all stages of life and have clients in over 20 states. The investment world is a complex one. So if you're ready to start taking your finances more seriously, it might be time to work with a couple of experts, handsome experts nonetheless. The Wealth Advantage Group, 248-773-8574, or check out their website at www.thewealthadv.com. Please support those who support us. Give the guys a call. You'll be glad that you did, because they are going to hook you up as they've hooked us up. True story, Blake. So you know they were my next door neighbors, right?
Yes.
They had like the most, I have no other way to say it, pimped out pool that you could ever imagine. Waterfalls, just a beautiful rock formation. Well, they worked 9 to 5, and I was always home during the day because I was doing like an afternoon show at the time. So like the kids and I, we'd go swimming there every day, like 9 o'clock in the morning. They were at work. One time the power went out, right? The power went out in our neighborhood. It was out for like 2 days. And so we were hot in our house, kind of like you are right now. And we all decided, and when I say we, I mean the entire family, we just matriculated over to Mr. Mike, as we called him, backyard pool. And so we're just kind of chilling out in the pool, having a couple cocktails. The kids are having a good time and everything. Well, Mr. Mike comes home from work and we're like, oh, sorry, Mike. And he goes, no big deal. I'm heading over to my dad's house where the air conditioning is. It was the greatest day ever. We stayed in Mike's pool the entire day. And that's how we cooled off when we had no air conditioning, Blake. So maybe there's a pool near you. Maybe tomorrow you can do like the show in a Speedo with you sitting in a pool or something. You in?
Yeah. I'll figure it out.
Nick said, can you tell me about the nice blonde realtor lady? I'm going to tell you all about the nice blonde realtor lady in a little bit, Nick. Nick, no doubt
Maybe
about
she can find me a house with air conditioning.
There's our tie-in.
Can I just say one more thing about this whole thing too?
You can say whatever
with
you
the
want.
Rashada thing. Like
My
I think the portal is good because yes, does it create havoc? And yes, is it probably a pain in the ass for these coaches? 100%. But I think it's actually made the quality of play in college football, for the most part, better. Because now these quarterbacks, especially quarterbacks, they're able to stay in college for longer because between NIL and the transfer portal, they're playing out all 4 years. So it's raised the level of quarterback play across the country because of it, because they have a reason to stay in college and play college football.
Do you know what my counter would be, though? Is this a guy that's going to stay 3 or 4 years, or is he a mercenary? Is this a guy legitimately like a program guy? Is this a guy who's going to be a program guy? That's what I worry about.
You got a guy like Michael Penix who played 6 years of college football, and what would Washington have been last year without that guy? But he was able to stay in college, play longer because of NIL, and he's a guy that used the transfer portal, left Indiana, went to Washington, and elevated his game. Same situation.
I think what this does, in my opinion, is I think that it rewards an easy way out, especially for a quarterback. I do. That's my only concern about it. I'm not saying transfer portal bad across the board. I'm not. I hope you understand that. Like everything else, I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. I worry about quarterbacks who, here, can I give you an example? I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to use your holy one. Are you ready? Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Would Tom Brady have stayed at Michigan? I don't know the answer.
Not.
Right?
Probably not.
My guess is no. Why? You're handing the reins to this Drew Henson kid. Okay? You know what? I don't want to come off the bench. I don't want to try to do this. I don't want. You know what? I'm going to go to Wisconsin. Looks to have a pretty good team. I'm going to go finish my career at Wisconsin. Like that. That's the only stuff that I kind of worry about. And I mean, I don't know the answer to that. I'm just using it as an example. Yeah. If I'm Tom Brady, I'm going, wait a second. I can go across the street and start for, how about either the team up north or the team down south? And in that particular year, 99, Michigan State was pretty damn good as it was. I could go be the starter for them. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, how crazy is that? Like a couple days ago, on the same day, one guy transfers from Michigan State to Michigan, and another guy transfers from Michigan to Michigan State.
Mm-hmm. The best programs in the country, though, use the portal. Like Todd said, it kills program building. I don't completely agree with that, because the best programs in the country, they use the transfer portal to fill small spots where they have big needs.
And that's what it should be. And that's why I'm not against the transfer portal. I hope that you and everybody else out there knows that. Like, I'm not against it. But I think Nick is preaching what I'm trying to say at my pulpit. The whining babies who cry because they can't beat out a player at that school and leave multiple times. The adversity guy. The second adversity hits, they told me I was going to be the starter, and there's no way I'm going to sit on the bench to my junior year. I'm going to go play in Bowling Green, and then I'm going to use Bowling Green for a year, and I'm going to go to Missouri. Oh, but they got this 5-star out of Louisiana, so I'm going to go transfer. I'm going to NC State.
Like, do you think do you think Dylan Gabriel is that guy? He went from UCF, where he was not going to be the starter. He saw the writing on the wall, left, went to Oklahoma. Then after last year, he knew Arnold is going to be the starter going into this year. He left again, and now he's at Oregon, where he's going to be the starter. Like, do you think that that's something that should happen or shouldn't happen?
It shouldn't happen.
Okay.
Tim said, I can't say Tim's wrong. He said, I don't think Brady would have left. He only went to Michigan because almost no one wanted him. But by that time, he had established himself.
Yeah.
You know. And by the way, this is the dirty little secret, Blake. I'm sure you know this. An overwhelming majority of Michigan fans wanted Drew Henson as the quarterback. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. And if you deny it, I'm going to call you a liar. Maybe you didn't. I'm not saying that you weren't one of them, but I was doing the radio shows back then, and I was dumbfounded at the people that were just willing to hand the car keys to Drew Henson, even knowing what a legend he was out of Brighton. I'm not joking. I was dumbfounded. I thought Brady was pretty good. Like, really? That's what you're doing? You know, so it's kind of weird how that plays itself off, you know? Cade, when JJ became the starter, to Iowa he went. I mean, that's kind of the Tom Brady situation, isn't it? Like, okay, well, we're going to bring in this young hotshot. Well, unlike Drew Henson, JJ turned out to be all that and quarterbacked the national championship. So you know how that goes, you know? So that's the way it goes. All right.
Why would you choose Iowa, Cade? Come on.
See, I'm old enough to remember, and I'm going to say this again. I think Ferentz has done a pretty darn good job there, considering it's Iowa and remembering what he took over. Hayden had pretty close to a powerhouse in the 80s, and then it just started to go south. And when Hayden left, was that 98, 99? There wasn't a lot down there. So Ferentz, in my mind, Ferentz has done a pretty good job. But let's face it, he's only going to take them that far. There's no ceiling.
Sean, 5 years ago, they were right in the thick of competing to go to the playoff.
Yeah.
Like, it fell off quick.
Eric said Tom Brady, my man, Sean. Was he your man in 99? Because I'm just being honest. I was doing radio shows. I'm not trying to call you out or any Michigan fans out, but the truth of the matter is almost everybody wanted Drew Henson in there. That's like a true statement. It was weird. It was really, really weird, you know? Can I tell you about that fine looking, wonderful realtor right now that Nick mentioned? When it's
She's
time
to find me a house with air conditioning.
To get a new house, maybe a house with air conditioning, you need the right person. There she is. It's Lindsay Broadwell. Your house is probably the biggest investment you'll ever make, and that's why you need a pro. Lindsay grew up on the mean streets of Northville, likely had air conditioning, and has expanded her team all over Southeast Michigan. She's an expert in all facets of the business, especially she knows the homes that have air conditioning. When it's time to move, our friend Lindsay and her team will make sure you get the most out of your house. You find a house with air conditioning and everything goes smoothly when finding that home with air conditioning. Buyer, sellers, first-time buyers, doesn't matter. Make sure you contact Lindsay at BroadwellHomes.com. She will help you with everything from start to air conditioning to close. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search today and fire up that AC at BroadwellHomes.com.
That was mean. That was mean.
I'm trying to help you out.
That was mean.
All right, I'm sorry. There. took it
That
back.
was mean. That entire Lindsay does a great job. She's a great realtor. But what Sean just said was very mean, and I disavow.
Jason said, my mama says Iowa fans are ornery because they have all those tight ends and no touchdowns, even though they have AC. My mama said. That was great, Jason. Nick said, Sean, 100% right. Dude, I lived it. It's, and I don't care about revisionist history. I've always said this, Blake, and you and I have known each other for how many years now? A few years now, right? I do not understand why, forget about the sports media, but just human beings in general are so allergic to I was wrong. I don't get it. It doesn't make, like, are you afraid you're going to lose like cred? Are you afraid, right? Like, listen, I'm going to say this forever, and I hope I say it when he wins the Super Bowl. I thought Jared Goff was done. I thought he was shot. I don't take back that he was a bad quarterback, because he was. But I thought he was done. I was wrong. It's not the first time I'll be wrong. It's not the last time I was wrong.
I will.
Somehow people, like, and a lot of my friends out there, whether they want to admit it or not, and Blake, you and I had this conversation. A lot of my friends out there are kind of guilty of it when D'Antonio was having his success. It's not that big of a deal to win the Big Ten. Shut up. Like, stop it. Yes, it is. Of course you want more. You want to win a natty. But you don't go win a natty without winning your conference first. And so when people like downplayed it, it was like, it's okay to say I was wrong. So I'm not going to lose any respect for you, man.
John, when Michigan was slated to play Alabama in the playoff, who did you think was going to win that game?
Alabama.
You said straight to my face, Alabama's going to smoke them.
Yep.
You were wrong.
Period.
And guess what?
I'm
That's
okay.
okay.
Yeah, it's all right. John said, Blake, the Blue Jays are coming to town, the coldest team in MLB. You're welcome. Even John's jumping in. John's one of the nicest humans ever, and he's even coming off the top rope.
What did I do to people?
You know what? This is every show
done?
you people rip on me. And yes, I drop you people. I guess I'm Don Cherry. Fire me now. Every show you people rip on me. Today it's Blake's day, okay? Just chill out.
Can we end this stupid show so I can go put in some air conditioning now?
I said chill out, and that flew right over your head.
Oh, I got it. I just I'm too hot to care.
Tim said golf equals JV. That's another one. Nick, Tim, I'm glad you brought that up. Hey, like Blake, true story, really true story. People were ready to run Justin Verlander out of here in 2011. Like multiple people. Like it was insane. And it was time to trade him. Now, I want you to think about this, okay? This is how stupid that idea was. You're going to try to trade him when his value's down here. Now, I don't know if you know this, but his next outing, he went and pitched a no-hitter against the Jays, his first, and he ended up having an unbelievable season. But there were many media members and a lot of the fans out there that literally wanted Justin Verlander gone in 2011. That is a 100% factual statement. And again, I'm not taking a shot at anybody. Somehow people think you're taking a shot. I say it. I was one of those guys. I said Jared Goff was crap. He was shot. It was over. Jared Goff isn't going to lead the Lions to success. And I say it all the time. I can't take back what I said because he was garbage at the time. And I think that was my biggest issue is when people tell you that you didn't see what you're seeing. That's my biggest issue. I know what garbage looks like. This guy's garbage. Where I was dead wrong is that he could get it back. Oh, did he get it back? Absolutely he did,
Yeah.
Darren said, Blake, do you know who Nick is? Eric said, Blake, AC is so nice.
If everyone out there could please subscribe to our YouTube channel, at Unsyndicated Pod.
Pick it up, Blake.
The more subscribers we get, the closer I am to getting central air at this household. So if we could please, for the love of God, subscribe to the YouTube channel, I would really appreciate it. I know Todd would really appreciate it. I know Sean would really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Everyone, please subscribe to at Unsyndicated Pod on YouTube. Our first goal is 500 subscribers, and we are well on our way. But if more people, Blake, have you ever seen Gone with the Wind? If more people could subscribe, I would really appreciate it, because the closer we get to that goal, the closer I am to being able to get central air in this lovely home that I have.
Dude, seriously, if you come over tomorrow, I got some things for you, some fans. I got one of those, whatever you need. We're going to take care of you. All right.
For as little as 10 views a day, we can get Blake colder air.
All right, we're going to get out of here, okay? Blake, go outside and chill out. Thank you, you guys. Listen to what Blake said. I need to go take my piss. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Off the Air with Sean Baligian, featuring Sean Baligian and Blake Majchrzak. Produced by Todd Losey and Blake Majchrzak. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Play It Loud by Jam Studio. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the Unsyndicated podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Off the Air with Sean Baligian on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Got something to say to Sean? Call the Unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.